Hi, my name is Darren Joseph from HEJ.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we have the honor and privilege of having a fantastic conversation ahead with Ricky and Todd. Ricky, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Yes. Well, my name is Ricky Gutierrez. I work at Gutierrez Pujadas and Partners, an international tax accounting and legal firm here located in Barcelona, Spain. And well, we're mostly focused on
Okay.
international clients, also Spanish clients. And we'll be here to kind of answer most of your questions related to taxation in Spain and also a little bit in the US.
Fantastic. And Todd?
Hi, everyone. My name is Todd Cowan. I am a certified financial planner and executive director at London and Capital. We are a UK headquartered wealth management firm with a unique regulatory approval that spans the US with the SEC, the UK with the FCA, and the Spanish financial regulator, the CNMV, allowing us to provide regulated advice truly cross-border. And as of 4 months ago, I now live right down the street from Ricky in Barcelona, Spain.
Wonderful. How do my existing US account structures work in Europe? And are there any European account structures that I can utilize as an American? And as a sort of add on to that question, they're asking, what are the specific challenges of coordinating retirement accounts like IRAs and 401ks with the Spanish tax treatment?
Yes, we will take this as if it's a Spanish tax resident, and so what the impact of the Spanish side is. And I'll address it, and Ricky, you can tag on at the end. I think what's important here, and this is from my perspective as an investment professional, and having the opportunity to know individuals like Ricky for the past few years, there is the treaty between Spain and the US, and then there is the interpretation of the treaty. And what I mean by that is there is no reference in the U.S. Spanish tax treaty to account structures like 401k or IRA or Roth IRA. Instead, there is a recently amended section regarding pensions. And when I say recent, I think it's within the past 5 years, maybe 2017 or 2019. But the reason that's important is because it's ultimately up to the Spanish tax professional that you work with to be able to apply the treaty against these account structures. And I have actually seen everything from an individual tax professional treat a 401k as a pension. And again, a pension in this regard is defined as is a European pension. And so what you're trying to do is utilize as many of the characteristics of a European pension or pension in Spain as you can against the account structures. I would say that 401ks probably tick a lot of those boxes. IRAs maybe a little less, and then Roth IRAs pretty much not at all and would be treated completely differently. Getting back to, with that as a backdrop, getting back to the question, it's really about understanding how the tax professional in Spain is going to treat these accounts, and then therefore you can start planning around it and planning from the underlying investment in mind, because there are scenarios where ultimately wealth tax could be a consideration for the underlying holdings of this. And so again, it depends on the opinion and the way and the treatment. I often say nobody's going to go to jail for owning a Roth IRA, but if you don't understand how to report it properly or what the implications from the Spanish tax authorities could mean, then it could be a little bit painful if you go to take a distribution or whatever the case is.
I completely agree. It normally comes to the professional and basically how they have looked at the rules of the tax treaty, and for them to basically identify if this is considered taxable in Spain, if this is considered a pension or not. At least in our case, and from the consultations that we've made to the Spanish tax authorities or other ones that we've read from the Spanish tax authorities, normally we do try to consider this as pensions. However, as you mentioned, when we were talking about Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks, normally we do need to include them in this, for example, in the 720, whenever people are relocating to Spain, and we also need to include them in wealth tax. Then regarding regular IRAs and regular 401ks, then we need to be very careful if those pension plans are really treated as public, if they are like public or private. And then in terms of regular IRAs and regular 401ks, normally we do not include them in wealth tax. And in terms of the individual tax, if they make any distributions, then we will need to go by if this is actually treated as public pension or a private pension. But yeah, normally we do try to go by case because not everybody operates the same way. Not everybody obtain this asset the same way. We need to be very careful. And if at some point the tax authorities were to come to us asking, then we would need to give them a very good explanation of why we did apply this as a pension, as a public pension, private pension, or not treat it as a pension at all.
I think that's an important point. The idea of having a pension that has been accumulated pursuant to working in the private sector versus the public sector. I think a lot of people really don't get that the law in Spain doesn't necessarily recognize both as pensions as per the Spanish rules, correct?
Correct. There's like an informative note by the Spanish tax authorities, and it determines what's a public pension and what's a private pension. And they always say that public pension, it's basically for people that have worked in this case, for the U.S. government, either as a professor or as a federal agent, things like that. And then if you've generated this through a company that's not related to the government at all, then it would be treated as a private pension.
Right. And this is important for people coming over to Spain late in their career or having already retired. But what about someone at the beginning of their career journey, Todd? Is setting up a Spain or European compliant pension something that you would recommend? And is that something that your team can advise and support on?
I think that's a great question. And again, it goes back to that beautiful caveat that it depends. I think what could largely be dependent upon is what this particular pension might look like and how it might be characterized from a U.S. tax perspective. So there certainly are opportunities for younger individuals that are relocating to Spain and likely, I want to go so far as to say severing ties with the U.S., but not likely to return for maybe quite some time. You can participate in a Spanish pension plan, but you definitely want to make sure that you're reviewing how the benefits are going to be accrued and what that account structure looks like. And ultimately, if you maintain your U.S. citizenship and ultimately your long-term filing requirement, how the IRS is going to treat that particular pension. And we'll be getting into kind of the idea of CFCs and PFICs in a bit, but it's really around navigating basically punitively taxed instruments and things.
Fantastic.
If someone wants to reach out to you and consult with you, what's the best way to do so?
You can either reach out to me on LinkedIn or you can reach out to me via my email address at todd.cowan at London and Capital, all spelled out.com. We also have a website, London and Capital, and the and is very important. Make sure you do not forget the and or the ampersand in our name, because there is another institution out there that has some financial, unrelated to us, that has some financial troubles. And you want to make sure it's London and Capital, and you'll be able to find it.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Ricky?
In terms of myself, you can also find me on LinkedIn, and also you can send me an email directly. My email is ricky@gpasoc.com. Ricky, it's RICKY. And you can also find me on our website. We do have a website with Gutierrez Pujadas and Partners in Barcelona. So you can send an email to our website. You can send a consultation to our website. And obviously, me and my team will be able to reach out to you, and hopefully we'll be able to help you with any issues that you might have.
Thank you very much. And my name is Darren Joseph, htj.tax, and we'll see you next time.